All right, everybody, welcome. Araz Zafar, D-Bazaar, AZD, also known as Spider. I'm the founder of IMC Nation. It's a movement worldwide, and this is a free lecture on IMC Nation and our philosophy, because our philosophy helps people change the condition of their life. I'm sure everybody's heard the song Black or White, because we just heard it right now, right? You heard it before then. Check this out. I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think it's about? Let's start in this room. What do you think the song's talking about? Don't look it up.
Race.
Yeah, tell me about it. What's the message you think?
Around those times, there was a separation between blacks and whites, like schools and well, not that time, but before his time, there was a separation of blacks and whites in schools. Like there are different bathrooms for black people and white people. And
During Michael Jackson's time?
No, before his time.
Oh, so you're talking about like the civil rights kind of thing?
Yes, correct.
Doesn't matter if you're black or white. Good. Anybody else have any ideas? Or you agree with that or disagree? What do you think?
Pretty much the same.
Same thing?
Some kind of race issue, black and white.
Right.
I've never looked at it.
I think it's about the good and the evil.
The good and the evil? What do you think about it? What do you say about that?
Black and white, good energy, bad energy.
So if you're gonna be my baby, it don't matter. That's different. Anybody else have any other ideas what the song's about? No?
I would say race as well.
Race?
Yeah.
Right? All right, I'm gonna read you the words. But before I read you the words, there's two stories about Michael Jackson who influenced me greatly in my life, okay? You may know it, you may not know it, but you can look it up. One is he had a little chimpanzee as a pet, right? I think Bubbles was his name. I'm not sure though. But anyways, this is a chimpanzee. Now, does anybody know how much stronger is a chimpanzee than an adult human male? Chimpanzee. There's a strength factor.
I saw number once like 3.16 times.
3.16 and the other, okay? Anybody want to look it up? Okay. Look up. How much is a male chimp? He had a full-grown male chimp at some point. How the strength of a male chimp versus a human adult male? Michael Jackson pretty frail.
What's the
You'd be surprised.
ratio of strength between a grown chimpanzee and a grown adult?
Is that what that says?
An average human.
Okay, keep looking. See if there's any other information. I don't have that information. I have a different information.
The strength ratio from ChatGPT, a chimpanzee and a grown adult human is often estimated to be 1.5 to 2 times greater for the chimpanzee.
Okay, that's, I think, an accurate.
People often exaggerate the strength of chimpanzees compared to humans, saying they're 3, 4, 5 times stronger. This is not true.
What is true?
It's what it's saying is 1.2, 1.5.
So do you believe that when you see a chimpanzee swing on the tree?
No way.
When you see it, if you want to try swinging on a tree and give yourself 1.5 strength and see if you can do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, it might be 2 times stronger, but they're half our size.
Okay.
You know, so it's like it's what is that? 4 times stronger per pound.
Yeah,
it used to be known as their equivalent of 5 strong men.
that is what I knew.
It says they can exert significantly more force in pulling and jumping tasks. Some studies even suggest they could be up to 5 to 8 times stronger, depending on the measurement used, with a large chimp potentially pulling over 1,200 pounds in strength.
So which one is right, though? Right? Which one is right? Which one do we choose?
That makes more sense.
How about we choose the one that makes more sense? That's where we have sense, right? Do you guys see how it works when you Google something?
Well, I guess, I mean, their grip and arms are definitely way stronger, but I'll bet their legs aren't.
Maybe they are, though, if they jump that much higher.
They use the arm,
It says
arms.
They're always squatting.
so their grip strength is an adult's grip strength is estimated to be around 440 pounds.
Okay.
Relative strength. Chimps have a higher strength to body weight ratio compared to humans. Muscle composition. Studies show that chimp muscles have a different muscle fiber composition, allowing for greater power output.
I just want to know how much more.
Yeah, it
Doesn't really say. Okay. I know for sure 2 things about them. That with their little body, they could grab your hand and crush your fingers in one move. I know they can rip off your fingers. You want to try to rip off each other's fingers? That's one of the ways they attack humans. Right? They mangle their face and arms so that they can't mate. Just so you know why they do that.
Wow.
The reason why chimpanzees, when they attack humans, is simply for sex, to make sure that the human can't mate. If you don't know that, you should know that, okay? So that tells you that they're actually looking at the human female sexually. Because when they attack, they try to deform the face and the body parts for sex. They literally do that, and you can look it up. That's one. Number 2, I know that they can rip off your skin and your ear real fast, and your nose. Now, I've done jiu-jitsu, different martial arts. It's very difficult to do that, right? Like it takes, I don't know what kind of grip it takes to fucking grab your skin and pull it off, right? So they're very strong, but that's not the point. the point is that there's two stories. Michael Jackson, one time, he had guests over, and the chimp bit somebody. And Michael says, what happened? And then they say it happened. And they say that Michael Jackson, they say lit him up, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they do like how he did it, like bam, 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 bam. Like 6, 7 times. Hit the chimp. Fast. They say he was so fast, right? There's more to the story, but there's a second one. He was at a party, and Tupac Shakur came in. Tupac, right? And Tupac was rude to a woman that Michael knew. And then Michael got up and confronted Tupac, right? And Tupac got smart, and Michael Jackson punched him a bunch of times and ducked and weaved. He went after Michael Jackson. Remember those two stories that have a lot of witnesses online. Here's this song. The song starts with, hey, what? It's a kid. Turn it off. Dad, this is the best part. Remember the energy at the beginning? It's like, what's he talking about? Then, turn it off. No, it's too late for this. Turn it off. Dad, this is the best part. Come on. No, turn it off now. No, I want to listen to it, okay? You've got things to do tomorrow. Turn it off now. Right, too late. Sure, eat this. Here are the lyrics. Now tell me what the song is about. I'm going to read it as it is. It starts like this. I took my baby on a Saturday bang. Boy, is that girl with you? Yes. Well, so took my baby on a Saturday bang, right? Boy, is that girl with you? Yes, we're one and the same. So you hear it, you just can't hear it, right? Boy, is that girl with you? Yes, we're one and the same. So someone's saying that to him. Then he says, now I believe in miracles, and a miracle has happened tonight. Listen, but if you're thinking about my baby, it don't matter if you're black or white. What is he talking about? Then he keeps going. They print my message in the Saturday Sun. This is on the newspaper, Saturday Sun, right? I had to tell him, quote, I had to tell him I ain't second to none, end quote. He writes that in the journal, right? The newspaper. And I told about equality, and it's true. Either you're wrong or you're right, right? But if you're thinking about my baby, it don't matter if you're black or white. What's he talking about? Then he goes, I'm tired of this devil. I'm tired of this stuff. I'm tired of this business. Go when the going gets rough. That's the lyrics. That's when he's talking like that, right? I'm tired of this devil. I'm tired of this stuff. I'm tired of this business. Go when the going gets rough. Then he says, I ain't scared of your brother. I ain't scared of no sheets. I ain't scared of nobody. Go when the going gets mean. Then the guy goes, protection for gangs, clubs, and nations. That's what the guy's saying when he raps. He goes, protection for gangs, clubs, and nations, causing grief in human relations. It's a turf war on a global scale. I'd rather hear both sides of the tale. See, it's not about races, just places and faces. Where your blood comes from, it's where your space is. I've seen the bright get duller. I'm not going to spend my life being a color. Don't tell me. Then he goes, don't tell me you agree with me when I saw you kicking dirt in my eye. You ever seen that happen to your friends and stuff? Right? Don't tell me you agree with me if I've seen you kicking dirt in my eye. But if you're thinking about my baby, it don't matter if you're black or white. Then he goes, I said, if you're thinking of being my baby, it don't matter if you're black or white. I said, if you're thinking of being my brother, it don't matter if you're black or white. Boom, boom, boom. All right, all right, Shimon, now you know, right? Now you know, all right, it's black or it's white. It's tough for you to beat. Yeah, it's black, it's white. It's tough for you to beat. It's black, it's white. So it's a lot deeper when you look at it. It's got a bunch of messages in it, right? And this lecture has a message in it. And it's to tell you something about relationships when it comes to man-woman that you've never been told, you've never been educated. And I'm going to do it, okay? So listen carefully. When you think of loving somebody, there's different kinds of love. But I'm talking about man, woman love, romantic love, right? Someone you want to be with. There's that thing you feel that has nothing to do with you. Have you noticed that? Right. And we normally go with that. Ready? That is an unconscious activity that took place. Okay? That runs out. And that's why relationships don't work. I'll tell you why. Because to understand love, like to understand any of these words that are way up there, and that's why I fly. I fly in my spaceship where the horizon is just these words. I live in these words. If you fly up here, you notice something. That love at a higher level, are you ready? Is going to have to be a choice. You're going to have to learn to love your neighbor as a choice. That's Jesus, right? You're going to have to learn to love mankind as a choice. Because you don't fucking sit there and love like that. When you have that romantic love, the reason why it doesn't last is that actually it's not love. Love is a self-generated, self-determined decision. Because at some point, if I've been in relationships for 19 years, 18 and a half years, 16 years, 10 years, all shit like that, right? There's going to come a point in the relationship where you have to choose to still love that person. If you've been in a long relationship, somewhere in there, you literally choose again. Against all current emotional states. You say, I'm going to love this person still, despite their betrayal, despite their insanity, despite their lies, despite all that shit. And that, if you've ever been there and stayed conscious, because I am, then you see it. You go, this is a moment where real love enters as a higher frequency. Because that other love you feel, a pedophile feels that too. Did you ever think about it? That feeling that you call love, believe it or not, the pedophile does that too. Now, that's also why they have anything to say in the cosmic law about I love a child too, and it's just who I love. And you can't defeat that statement, although you know it's wrong. But they say, it's not my fault. There you go. Try again. Try again. If you're going to stay in the relationship, it's going to be your responsibility to love again and again and again, despite all the invitations from everybody, friends, family, the person, their family, to not love them. That is a choice you have to make, right? And you and I hold the pedophile responsible more than he just feels something. We are looking at a choice he says he doesn't have. And you pretend you have. If you had it, you would choose to love the person that you love through whatever. Now, you could turn to the pedophile and say, no, make a choice. Right? But you're not making a choice. That's why your relationships break. Now, if both people chose to love each other, you would have arranged marriages in the past where you didn't even see the bride or the groom. But they stayed together because they made a choice. They had no divorce. It wasn't part of the tribe. Like, you don't just get a divorce in a tribe if there's like 20 of you. It doesn't work, right? What do you do then? All the other men are taken. What woman is going to trust the woman who just divorced that man and is walking around the tribe? Who? Who wants her around? Nobody wants her around, right? She's immediately outcasted. So that for that reason, it wouldn't work, right? So if that man and that woman were arranged at 12, 11, whatever your judgments are on the age, that's not the point. The point is, at some point, they had to say, I'm going to love this man, and he had to say, I'm going to love this woman. And that became a choice. And then the choice manifested because no longer were they fooled by the animal magnetism and attraction, which is what we use to get the opposite sex. It's part of it, right? But what if it didn't start like that? And I'll tell you what, in the old days of all of our ancestors, it didn't start like that. Nobody was dating. Nobody was dating because you would grow up in your family and your family was really close with that other family in that same tribe. They worked, they hunted together. They knew each other, right? So they knew that you have a boy and I have a girl and we have 12 people in our tribe or 40 or whatever. And when they come of age, what? They have to procreate. That boy is going to be with that girl. Decided. End of story. And then at some point, they would take the boy and the girl and do a big ceremony and tell them, you're now together. Go fuck. But before they did that, they would take the woman and she would sit with all the elder women before she went. This is how they did it. And all the elder women would give the wisdom to the woman and tell her that after she's done with her honeymoon to come back and talk to them. It's the first time she's going to have sex. The men didn't forget about the boy and suddenly go, okay, you're getting married, by the way, right? When he was coming of age, he was taken on hunts or safaris or some sort of an activity because they were going to make him into a man so he could forward the tribe. These ancestors of ours loved by choice and not by lust. So they were able to continue their tribe, right? And you were never told that because you were told the same love spell that has killed everybody on the planet, right? That love is supposed to be this thing that happens by itself. And basically, you are supposed to be the total effect of love, right? One of the most intense energies in the universe, they put you in the back seat without a seatbelt. And they say, all right, let's see where this thing goes. And every one of them has crashed before you. Every one of them. Not one made it to the other side safely, right? You know why? Because love, just like eating and just like pissing and shitting and showering, all the stuff that naturally you do, just like moving, even breathing, love has to become a conscious activity. Why? Because you and I are conscious. We are, if you're going to say what we are consciousness. The most thing that we are is an awareness. So we have to love with awareness, not unawareness. I don't know what happened. I fell in love with her. I don't know what happened. I just really want to be with him. Okay. That's fine. And you better make a conscious choice now to love the person. Right? You better make a conscious choice to love the person. Otherwise, what you're counting on is for them to do things and for you to continue to feel that. I guarantee you they're going to change within 5 years, 10 years, 50. How long you want to stay together? Right? How long are you going to stay together? Thanks, Christina. You want to stay together, hopefully, for the rest of your life. They're going to change. Right? And so they made love a big mysterious thing as if it has no physics. I'm going to tell you the physics that I know, starting with the first axiom. If it's not a self-determined choice, then when whoever is in the hospital or hurting or needs help, you'll notice the genetic body doesn't love them. It's not supposed to love death and weakness. It's supposed to shun. And if you've ever been a man in a situation where you had everything, then you lost everything. With losing everything, you lost your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter. No woman stuck it out when you were in the dumps, right? Because she never made a self-determined choice to love you, right? You are sleeping with an animal. That's why you're okay having animals in your bed with you, because you're already with animals in bed. And you can't differentiate the difference between that animal has no choice when you bring the dog food or the cat food. It would eat from your enemy's hand who murdered you. Your enemy can feed you to your own dog. Within 5 days, he'll be eating you. No problem. And running up to him. Your dog loves you the way your man loves you or your woman loves you. As long as there's food and the sound of a can opening, she comes and purrs, right? If there's no food or no can, she's purring somewhere else. Now, to find a good woman, and every man knows this, look at celebrities that have made it very far. You're like, why is he with that ugly chick? And you get the story, and he says, she knew me before I was famous. That's the difference, right? And no famous person ever wants to be with a woman after he's famous and she wants him. He would always choose the girl that knew him before he was famous. Every single one of them. Or rich, or good looking, or whatever success he achieved, the one who was there prior to the achievement holds a different place in the world for him. Always, 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 always. And that's where women become insecure. I would become most secure if I knew somebody before they were famous and they became famous. Because then that person will see your value. But if you throw yourself in that same category as every new bitch that shows up, then he's going to put you in that category. Why? Because you're making a conscious choice, right? It's love and relationships have to be conscious choices. And wherever they're not conscious, right there in the future, it will explode in your face. Okay? That's the free lecture. We're going to an all men class. If you're not part of it, get the link and I'll see you there. See ya.